It's time for the f***ing Mojito, or the Mojito. The Mojito, right, or Mojito, or whatever. Oh, f*** me, this drink. God, it's annoying. It's actually one of the #1 drinks that is done completely wrong, which we're going to talk about in a minute. So, the Mojito, basically, it's, originally, there's a drink called the El Drac. And please excuse my Spanish and Portuguese, which is named after Sir Francis Drake, and it was aguardiente, or a local South American sort of eau de vie with mint or spearmint and maybe lime or lemon or limon. And that's the El Drac. Now, actually, most likely it's actually a variation on a mint julep, because fellow white slave owners, obviously, because if you're the Caribbean or in the south of America around the 19th century, you owned slaves, you owned people, but you were also a rich arrogant prick. And basically, you also had a commodity called crushed ice, right? So you would have gone to meet your fellow white slaveholders in the South, and you would have gotten a mint julep. But bourbon, whiskies, and even some cognacs wouldn't have been that easy to get in the Caribbean, but you would have had your local product that your slaves made for you called rum. And basically, it was rum with some citrus and mint. Now, around the 19th to the 20th century, ice became common. And there was a bar in Cuba around World War II and just after called La Bodeguita de Medio. And it used to be a grocery store, but it ended up becoming a restaurant, and it started doing something called the Mojito, and it was very, very popular. But basically, a Mojito is actually a rum Collins with mint, right? So, quick one, and this is it, right? Get a nice big glass, right? 1.5 ounces to 2 ounces rum, right? Squeeze of a whole lime. Okay. Mint. Put it in there. Boom. Just massage it a little bit. Mint. Some sugar. 1/2 ounce. Juice of a lime. Rum. Fill up with ice. Top with soda. And according to Jerry Thomas, you should only do crushed ice when there's no effervescence being added to the drink, okay? And then what we do, just a little drink like that. Simple mint sprig. Okay. I'm sure. And that's it. It's a rum Collins with mint, right? But then and then during that time period as well, obviously people like Hemingway and Bohemians and other intellectuals started making this drink incredibly popular, but that's pretty much close to what it was. It wasn't crushed ice, it's actually a different type of drink. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. So there you go. Earlier, I just showed you basically what Mojito originally was, basically a rum Collins with mint, right? Cubed ice. But if you're gonna, and then in the 1960s, a guy called Joe Baums at his bar called La Fonda del Sol in the US really got the Mojito going. Then suddenly something changed around probably the 80s or 90s, I think. And we all have these drinks made with crushed ice. So, right, I'm going to show you how I make a Mojito. But please bear in mind that actually this drink should really be called the Mojito Criollo, because it's crushed ice, and actually it should be made with lemon juice, not lime. Oh my God. So really, for the last 25, 30 odd years, we've all been making our mojitos wrong. Or we should actually be calling it a Mojito Criollo. So we could really call it, I don't know, the cream mojito. There you go, whatever. But this is how I make a mojito. And I get really annoyed when I make one because once I do make one, every mother wants one. So sometimes I actually run out of mint on purpose. So, same again. Especially when I have a busy night and I'm having to make all these mojitos. This right now is one of the most beautiful, wonderful experiences in the world because I think about all the people that order my mojitos and how much I hate their guts. But it is a beautiful drink, it's a wonderful drink. But please remember, the original mojito is basically a rum Collins. So the mojito we have these days is really a complete bastardization. It's called the Mojito Criollo and it should actually be with lemon juice, not lime. But I digress. This is my version of a 21st century bastardized mojito. And this is how I make one. All right, and it is beautiful, it is wonderful, it is sexy. And then once everybody sees one, they all want one. Right, here we go. Right, I've just pulverized one of my customers. Thank you very much. Right, so here we go. Mint, obviously. So get your mint. Put in about, I'd say about 12 to 16 leaves. So you get a nice big glass. This is actually a slim glass because it just looks beautiful. There you go, 6. 1, 2, 3. Alright, there we go. Put that all in there. Then add 1.5 ounces of a really good Cuban rum. Cuban rum. Yes, I'm about to upset some people. Oh, tough Cuban rum. Then juice of a lime, at least an ounce. Pour it in. Just under half an ounce of rich syrup. Okay, there you go. Get yourself a spoon. Just massage, as I said before, just massage it, just going up and down. I used to do this. No, bad. So just massage it in. Okay, this is how I was taught to do one many decades ago. Some of you might not have even been alive, but there we go. There you go. All right. Now, add the crushed ice. Okay. Churn again. It is a laborious, slow process, but it does make a wonderful drink. Then I add some soda. Because you see, it dissolves very quickly, all right? That's why it's better when it's with actually big chunks of ice. But here we go, this is the one we all know and love. All right. Then add a whole load more crushed ice. Really get that fucking into a mountain, okay? You want to leave that little gap, you'll understand in a minute. Get yourself a straw. And then I get a nice big mince. As I said before, just do a little squeeze. That's it, don't need to do too much, all right? Get yourself dehydrated lime. But before you do the dehydrated lime, I add just a little bit of dark rum. Okay, just a little. Okay, so it's got a nice little crown over the top. Then place. There you go. As again, little thing to make it look all pretty. And there you go. And that is how I make a mojito. All right, so you can imagine what happens. One, my staff and I are very angry, but we do make it because we want to make it beautiful and we want to make it wonderful for people. But you imagine giving that to somebody or you getting something like that. Isn't that beautiful? All right, but it's not actually a mojito. It's not the one we know. You know, it's a mojito criollo. But me, it does look good, doesn't it? And in summer, oh my God. And then suddenly when everybody sees one of these, oh God. Just end up making shit tons of them. So on that note, if somebody orders one of these, please remember I will be thinking about your death. But I will make you it and it'll look good. There we go. Oh, oh, that's so good. Oh my God.